welcome to another edition of Live from Hollywood with your host Laci Kay Somers and Franko. I'm Laci Kay. What's going on, Franko?
What's going on, Laci? Basically, what's been going on with me lately is I've been dealing with a lot of the aftermath of this webinar that we threw on Saturday. We had a lot of people that had learned a lot from it, a lot of people that appreciated us throwing it, and then we had a lot of people that said that they couldn't make it, and a lot of people that were emailing talking about, hey, when are you throwing another one and stuff like that, which we'll have to update them on in the future. But what I have to say about things like that is a lot of times in life you get opportunities. This was a good opportunity to meet and talk with executives that are in the music business that people want to get in. I would just say a lot of times when opportunity comes, just know you have to take it, because if you don't, life will definitely pass you by. What's been going on with you though, Laci?
I've just been looking for a car since I wrecked both of my cars. That's horrible. And I'm going to Seattle tomorrow for some DJing stuff and some modeling signings, and then some just like kind of vacation hanging out. I'm already going to be there. So, yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun. I want to give a shout out to Simca. Simca couldn't make it today because she's still dealing with her medical issue. She had something with some kidney stones, and I want to go ahead and wish her the best wishes. But you go ahead and introduce the topics of the day. They are going to be street promotion versus internet promotion. Which one do you think is better? And also, Warner goes Kickstarter. That's an article that was emailed to me talking about how Warner is willing to sign anybody that raises $100,000 on the Kickstarter website, or whoever gets 1,000 people to donate. So the musical guest for the day is a rapper out of California. Well, he's in California currently now in Oakland, but he's originally from Dallas area. And Kenneth is one of my favorites because Kenneth actually takes he takes initiative, and I like people that take initiative. Kenneth signed up with the newsletter, and he also wrote me on my email, and he wanted to get on the show, and I'm very excited to have him on today. So Kenneth, go ahead and tell them about who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm I would say like a independent mogul that's from the South, but came to the Bay Area when the scene was happening here. It's not really here like that with the majors anymore, but this being an independent mecca and me learning all that information that I needed to in I would say the late 80s and the early 90s, I put it to use by the late 90s and start putting out my own music. I've sold over 100,000, most of it here, but in other states as well. And I think it's all about levels, you know, and I'm staying in my lane. As far as my lane is, I'm a baby Russell Simmons. That's just what I do. And I've been doing that since the very beginning. So it's been working out for me. So
how did you get started with your music? His rap name is Tha Archivez, though, right? You go by Tha Archivez.
Yeah.
So what was your beginning in music, though?
I fell in love with it on a trip out here from Dallas in like '86. I guess I was always involved with it as far as breaking and graffiti and all that in the early '80s. Yeah, I'm kind of old right now, but I've been around for a minute, and really being a good student, you can be a good teacher. Right now I'm in a position where I can give some information to some people that want to do something with it. Because, I mean, everybody got different lanes, you know. Somebody might be the next Jay-Z coming from this area. Who knows, you know. So I would love to rub shoulders with that individual, because we all on different kind of paths. And mine is more so to stay independent and be in control. Because if I'm involved with it, I got to own it. It's just how it is.
So you're old school, you said. So who would you say that your music influence was growing up, or is now, or kind of formed you to be the kind of music that you do today?
I would have to say I don't really sound like anybody from then or now, because for one, what I do is I mix what was going on then that I grew up to and I kind of mix with what's going on now. So it's kind of like a gumbo. But I don't really have any favorites right now. But I grew up to Steady B, Just Ice, MC Shan, Ice-T, Ghetto Boys, the DOC. So, you know, a little bit of everybody from everywhere. So I wouldn't kind of like bent on just gangster rap or just conscious or just New York. It's kind of like a gumbo. So it kind of goes back to being the archives. But yeah.
Yeah, I kind of get a little Ice-T vibe from you a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that movie thing now. I actually did a little independent film out here last year, so I'm trying to get more into that right now. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, independent film. I'm in San Francisco. What's up?
Hey, there we go.
Here's your actress right here.
There you go.
So the archives. When you said you were earlier, you told me that you were originally from Dallas, right?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about the music scene in Dallas. Is it similar to that of Austin? Because I know we've had a couple of people from Austin on the show.
I would say back then, when I was there in the 80s, a lot of the Dallas folks in the hoods or whatever, we listened to a lot more West Coast, to be honest. As far as mid 80s, early 80s, I was a hit to a lot more of the Egyptian Lover and LA Dream Team and Ice-T music than the Run DMC stuff in the beginning. Then by the time the mid 80s to late 80s, it kind of did a flip. Then it was all about EPMD or whatever. And then by that time, I came out here to Live for Good in like 88. So I got a chance to see some different sides to what people was really vibing with. And I think it was a good time too for hip hop because it was cool to be original. Right now you kind of don't see that as much. It's like you gotta be this or you gotta be that, or it's how he wore his hat. Oh, it's who he dating. You know what I mean? So it's like it has nothing really to do with what you bring to the table. Like what makes you you, what makes you stand out and just be whatever vibe you're on. So
yeah, I definitely agree with that. If you compare like the acts that came on like during the late 80s or the early 90s, and then you compare them to like today, you can definitely see that that it's a change that happened, and not only with the style, but like I always say, with the meaning that was in the music too. Because it was, I think nowadays, a lot of people that make music are, I like to call it conceited rap. You see what I'm saying? Conceited rap. Because before, you know, people would just talk about like the day-to-day issues, what was going on and things like that. But now it's more so like, look at what I got. I got this, I got that. You know, you want to be like me. I'm better than you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
it's kind of like fake it till you make it type vibe. But
that's Laci's favorite line right there, right?
I mean, it's all good.
This comes up a lot on the show. Like this topic comes up maybe every time we're on here. Because it's true, it really is, and I think everybody sees it too. I mean, I turn on the radio today and it's like Rihanna, and it's like, really? Throw it up. I'm like, oh, no!
Well, you know, even bigger than the creative aspect is the people that are running it, the business now, opposed to who was running the business before. I think the intentions of what they're trying to put out. So if it is an artist of a certain caliber that has sold X amount of records, and they might be known in Japan and they're from New York or whatever, you know what I'm saying? If their reach is big like that, they got to use their power and flip it around and not just be an artist and be more in a situation where they can call some shots, you know? Be involved with the actual politics. So like after being an MC or being a DJ, become a manager or become artist development, because artists need that. So the ones that's coming up after.
So in a sense, you're saying that musicians need to wear multiple hats, kind of, right?
I'm saying because, you know, I remember when I got into loving this to think about maybe I want to do that for a living. Those artists back then, the Just Ices, the Steady B's, a lot of those guys aren't around, man. They either dead or in jail or acting now. They're not even in the music like that now. The time limit on an MC back then was real small. You know what I'm saying? And right now, it's like people are staying the game based on controversy, on who they had a fight with or who they was beefing with, or some sex scandal or sex tape. It's like it has nothing to do with what we do. You know what I mean? And it's like a bad cliche on opposed to being about business and being artistic and something else that has nothing to do with either one. I mean.
Yeah, and it's weird to me because, like, if you look at other genres of music, though, you know, you look at country, even pop, and other music genres, it seems like hip hop is the only one that people actually do stuff like get into arguments and have fights and stuff like that. So I've always wondered where that stems from, you know, and it seems like a lot of times with music or hip hop, a lot of times people have a hard time distinguishing reality from fantasy in the entertainment world, and I don't really understand why that's the case when the same people that listen to music, they go out and they watch movies and they don't think Arnold Schwarzenegger really go out there and kill all them people. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's part of the culture. Is how hip hop was started to prevent gang violence in New York. So if you just think about that in that terms, it was like, okay, well, I'm with this gang, so I'm with him. Now I'm his hype man, or I'm his DJ now, or I'm his background dancer. But before, you know, it was gang violence. So they did that. They found hip hop after, I guess, disco was on its way out, and they was like looking for the next thing, and they came across something and it got big. And you know, heads that I know that's like 45 and 50 now that was in the game back then, and I got a chance to meet, they're kind of pissed at that. They wanted to just keep it in New York. You know, it was like their little baby. Yeah. And it expanded out to the rest of us. So now they're like, damn, we can't keep it to ourselves. But I feel them because I love it like that too. So I feel where they be coming from. Now, I know back in the day I couldn't understand that, though. I was like, damn, why does got to be a New York thing? But now I get it because I love it like that. And I want to be able to see when I'm 65 or whatever, I want to still see it going on, man. You know, even if they ain't talking about nothing, you know what I mean? I want whoever's the hot dude or the creative person to come up with something hot that'll make an old timer like me then say, damn, that was slick. I like that, you know?
So, Laci, I know you deal with a lot of haters, you know. I know you deal with a lot of haters, but the thing is, Laci actually, what type of music exactly do you make, Laci? What category would you put it in?
I would say hip hop, I guess. It's kind of a mix between a Britney Spears and a Christina Aguilera. Whereas more
so kind of like popish a little bit, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually singing too in some of my songs, and some of them are like more club, which is kind of like the Britney with the effects and the auto tune and blah 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 for the dance kind of stuff. But I mean, I'm not going to compare myself to Christina because she's amazing, but I can't actually sing unlike Britney, so kind of difficult. But
so tell me this, like being that you're in that type of genre, do you still feel like you experience a lot of people that have animosity towards you and things like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's everywhere. Anything you do, whether it's country or whatever music you do, I think there's always people out there like that are just, they don't have it, or they just can't. I don't know. Some people these days just can't be happy for other people. I don't know why that is.
But do you think it's more publicized in hip hop than any other genre, though? And why do you think that is?
You know what? It is, and I have no idea. I really have. I cannot answer that because honestly, I don't know. Like with my modeling too, has nothing to do with hip hop. People do it and whatever. So I mean, maybe it's the way that we present ourselves and the way we dress and the sexiness and the sex appeal and blah blah blah. Because you don't see country singers doing that. You know what I mean? So it could be that type of thing, that the things people talk about or the way they dress to present themselves. But honestly, I don't know. I just hate it.
So back to what I was saying earlier about the fantasy versus reality thing. Do you think in like modeling and stuff that it's hard for people to distinguish what's real and what's like entertainment? It's the same way the Archives was talking about in music?
Yeah, I mean, I think there could be a line to draw, and I also think it depends on who you are, where you've been, and what you know. Because if someone, isn't educated and doesn't know a lot of things, even like new starting models too, they probably, I don't know, they kind of fantasize about this dream, what people are and what they do, and it might not be what people put off. You know, so it might not be really what they really do. I kind of do that sometimes. Myself the cooler than I am. But, you know, I think it's all in the image that you're trying to portray, too. So, but I mean, I'm totally not like a snob or anything that people think I am. So that's a wrong impression there, but...
Cool, cool. All right, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and move into the first topic of the day, which is street promotions versus internet promotions. Now, I have a lot of stuff to say about this because I have a lot of people that I deal with that just can't get out of doing a certain type of promotion. But before I go ahead and get into that, I'm going to just get Mr. Archivez' opinion on that. So, Kenneth, if you could just go ahead and tell me which one of those you think is more important and why.
I think it depends on the individual. Street promotion might work better for an artist that is doing, let's say, gangster rap. Right now, I think it's more of a market, and I hate to say this because I'm running into this a lot more. A lot more people that are off in the conscious hip hop are kind of on the pretentious thing, and it's like they searching for an identity or something to be part of, and it's cool to be part of community, but it has to be some cause behind it. You can't just be part of something without actually being part of it. You know what I mean? So I think it depends on what you're trying to portray. Like what she was saying, what Lindsay was saying is, well, whatever you're portraying defines the lane that you can actually take. You know, if you're more of a type of hookup person, I want to be famous, maybe you want to go with Facebook. If you're more of a person that is more off into visual arts, you might want to go in the direction of Vimeo and YouTube. But if you're more about the music, you might want to stick to SoundCloud. I'm just saying, you know. So it all really depends on what your intentions is. And, you know, some people right now just want to be famous and they just want to be seen. They want the groupies. That's it. And beyond that, they really don't care. So,
well, what my opinion on it is this. You know, a lot of times you got people that want to do music, and when they want to perform and they want to show their music, they rarely reach outside of their small circle of friends. You see what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And I always tell them, I say, look, it's no point in you performing for the same 10 people over and over and over again. You see what I'm saying? You can give your flyer out and you can do all that, but if you're not reaching anybody beyond your circle, a lot of times people have Facebook page, they'll have some Facebook friends and they'll share their music, but it's the same 10 people on their Facebook page that's coming to their shows. So I say, look, if you're going to promote yourself, you need to have a good street team, and also you need to do internet promotions. And I would stress internet promotions even more because you get a longer reach when you do that. You see what I'm saying? People that don't know you in your local area will be able to notice you and find you if you do a little bit of internet promotions. What do you think about that, Laci?
I totally agree with you. Like, even with this show, too, that we've been able to reach out to people from all over the United States because of the internet. And I think it was, if we were just doing it on the street, we probably might have not reached as many people. But then I also agree because I think all the promotion you can get, the better. I mean, everything. Because, just like you said, the little circle here might not be what's over there. And I think any and every way you can do it is just the best. Because some people don't have internet, some people don't believe in Facebook, some people, even the older people too, they're not interested, you know, it's just, some people don't have things, and even out like where you are, and I just think it's all very good to do, everything.
I think it's all relevant because when it comes down to it, like I know for me myself, the core people that's feeling what I'm doing right now, they're actually my friends on Facebook, but they actually follow me on Twitter too. Now it's a bigger demographic of people that's on Twitter that we're not even friends on Facebook, or they're not subscribed to me on YouTube. So it's good to have all those things in place because you never know. And also the street thing, you got to do the street thing. You got to be that in-person type, you know, when it's time that you want to get those auditions for those roles, or you trying to get that gig, or even actually after you do the gig, shake those people's hand. If somebody telling you they feeling their music, get that email address. You never know.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that goes back to what we were talking about in the webinar that we had on Saturday. They was pretty much saying that anytime that you deal with people, you want to be nice and you want to be sociable. You know, I mean, still be honest and give your real opinion and be a real person. But at the
Right.
same time, they were saying like a lot of times when they get music, even if they don't like it as much, and they know that you a cool type of person, they'll promote your music harder that
Hmm.
way than if your music is good and you just some stuck up dude that don't nobody want to talk to. You see what I'm saying?
Real.
Yeah, so a lot of times, dealing with the musicians that I've seen, I would just say, have an attitude adjustment, I mean, because
Real.
it's cool to have this certain persona when you rapping and stuff like that. But for real, like if you really want somebody to push you, you need to start appreciating the people that support you. That's
Well,
all I'm saying. What do
I
you?
mean, that's the difference between being arrogant and being confident, right there. That's what it comes down to.
I agree. What do you think about that, Laci?
There's been tons of people where I just, even if I liked their music, I wouldn't even listen to it or even click on their page because of that. Because if they were rude or whatever. Because I'm like, I don't want to give, even on TV, like some of the shows that I hate, I'm like, I'm not even going to go on that channel because I'm not even going to give them views. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
real. Like, I really do that. And it's just, especially when you're starting out too and you're doing the street team and you're doing that, always be nice to everybody because you don't know what bridges you're going to be burning later or
Exactly.
who you're going to meet or who's who of like anybody, the industry or anybody. That's actually kind of how I started with Playboy. This girl that was getting her makeup done, she was being so rude to people. And the girl that was actually doing her makeup was her mom was like in charge of everything. So she was
Mm.
actually mean to the makeup artist and they kicked her out and I was right there. So it's kind of like, like it's worth it. Being nice and building those friendships.
I definitely agree. Great point by cool hip hop Laci right now. All right, so to move things along, we're going to talk about the next topic of the day, which is Warner Goes Kickstarter. And I basically just told the archives and Laci about this topic a couple of minutes ago, actually. And what it was is it's an email that was sent to me, and what they were saying is that Warner is joining up with Kickstarter, and they are willing to sign anybody that raises up to $100,000 on their Kickstarter campaign or gets 1,000 people to donate. So I guess I'll start with my man Kenny Jelks, and then I'll go to Laci. So what do you think about that, Kenny?
Well, depend on what you're trying to achieve with music. A lot of times, artists are looking for funding. So if they could get that type of funding, they wouldn't need Warner Brothers at all. It's too many ways. I know. If we just had $100,000 roll through right now, trust me, brother, we would be working with Universal. We would have some type of side deal with them where we wouldn't need Warner Brothers at all. Because I mean, it's at the end of the day, it is about numbers. And with that type of money that you bring into the table, it's just certain things you can do on your own, as far as making your own flyers. Or you might have a friend that can do computer graphics. Boom, you got your flyers, you got your posters for whatever project you come in. You might have a homeboy that does video. Get behind the camcorder, man. We do a little low budget music video. It's just too many things you can do with 100,000 that you wouldn't need if you had that, because that's probably going to be your budget anyways from signing with them. And that's the whole thing. So, but the only thing is, with that budget, you would have to pay back. But if you already had that budget, cut out the middleman.
What do you think about that, Laci?
I agree with him. Yeah. But then, like, if you're signing with them, that's extra help from them that they have more control over a lot of people that can help you as well, which is great. But, I mean, I think it's kind of like an American Idol thing. Like, it's just kind of like, even like when people vote on the show, I wouldn't even vote for half those people, and some people they're going to get them might not even be any good. They just might have a good following, which is fine. But I agree with Kenneth. Totally.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna just give you guys a little spin on my spin on it. So, basically, how I look at it is like this: if you can raise $100,000 from your fans, then that obviously says that you have a fan base that's willing to support you. So if you have a fan base that's willing to support you, it's nothing stopping you from taking that money and investing in yourself and then promoting yourself, like Kenneth said, getting some videos done, getting some marketing done, and just taking care of the little things and start operating your music operation like a business. Because when you start doing that, you'll reap more of a profit than you would if you just got signed by a label. See, the times have changed, in my opinion. You see what I'm saying? Because earlier on, you didn't have to do all that work to get it, to get the labels to sign you. All you had to do was have a hot CD or a hot sound, a hot track, a couple hot tracks, you know. And if someone heard you, it would be something like an A&R, and they would be like, oh, well, this person has talent. They would train you, and they would also give you some front money, and they would do all these things for you just because you had talent. Nowadays, no. They want to know that you already have support. But if you already have support, if you treat it like a business, then you can go ahead and make the money on your own, and it'll be way more beneficial for you. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know about business, because if you have all that money and you're gonna blow it, it's gone. Better spend it wisely and be smart.
I'm willing to bet, and I feel like I'm going on and on right now, but I'm willing to bet that a lot of people would still sign that deal. Why? Just so they could go to mommy and daddy and go to sister and brother and friends and say, I got signed by a record label. It don't matter if the label's taking all the money. They just want people to know that they got signed. What do you guys think about that?
That is so real. So real. I'm telling you, I know a lot of the artists that made it from here back in the day, and most of them are so broke. I ain't gonna even get into names because I know a lot of these artists from this area. My gosh, it's only like out of like 20 acts that were major in the 80s or 90s, like 2 of them have money now. Everybody else is broke, like flat busted. But you know them from their hit record. I can't go into names, trust. I really want to, but it's not that serious. But the point of it is that it's give and take. Well, what used to go on with them doing everything for you, see, artist development existed then. When the majors sign you now, they want you to already be ready for the majors. So they want you to be prepared for that already. So it's the initiative of you investing in yourself to get to that point to be signed with a major. Now, here's the thing. There's no guarantee with a major label. You're guaranteed if you roll being indie or rolling with an indie established label that is willing to always invest in you getting that artist development and building you up. So if you have 10 fans, they can make it 100 fans. And a strong 100 fans that's going to roll with you the next 5 years. Now, you can get with the majors and get that $100,000 advance, and it all fails. Like, everything fails. But guess what? You're going to have to pay that money back to them because that's business.
Cool. So next, I'm just going to get into a little bit of the fan mail that we have. Well, I'm just going to read one of them because that's all we really have time for right now. And somebody mailed in a question for me and Laci, and they wanted to ask, what do you think is your favorite part of the show that you do and why? So, Laci, what do you think is the favorite part of the show for you?
Okay, because
I don't think I said her name. Her name was Cara Lopez. Go ahead.
Okay, Cara. I can do the show in my underwear and nobody would know. I just got home and I'm like, hey, I got a show to do. I better get my face pretty and nobody will know.
Okay.
No, I think also interacting with the all the people that we get to meet and interview, and it's good practice and good just communication skills and just meeting different people. I think it's very interesting, and I think the show's going to be pretty big soon, so it's a good idea to do.
Yeah. So with that said, we'll just move on to show Kenneth's website. Kenneth, if you could you tell me the name of your website so I could try to pull it up?
You could just hit me on pretty much anything. I'm on Twitter.com/Tha Archivez, which is spelled Tha Archivez.
Okay. You had a SoundCloud, right? Yeah,
I'm on SoundCloud as well.
What's
which
the
is it's SoundCloud.com Tha-Archivez.
SoundCloud.com / I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Oh, it's Tha Archivez.
So is it the underscore dash?
No, it's just the dash.
Oh, okay. Then Archivez.
Yeah.
What made you come up with that name? You just kind of.
Actually, what happened was I wanted to go in a different direction because I think everybody here in the Bay Area was Pitfall for a long time, and from '98 to 2000, I did everything under Kenny J, Kene-J. I did like 5 releases with that, and I was doing radio out here. Actually, at the time, I had my own radio show out here in Berkeley, and I set that show up just to put other people on, and I wanted to go in a different direction to where it could be something to represent more me. I didn't want to just be associated with what was going on here with just being hyphy or just being rap and hip hop. It's just I wanted to be something more and not just Pitfall and put it into a certain category when I know I was bringing more to the table, and it's a lot more that I wanted to do. I wasn't just a rapper. I was a rapper with a radio show and doing other stuff. So I wanted to do more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Laci?
I said so the name means something then.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So yeah, right now you can see I have Kenneth Jelks, a.k.a. Tha Archivez. I have his music page up, so if anybody wants to go ahead and check that out, that's www.soundcloud.com/the spelled THA dash archives ARCHIVEZ, and you can go out and you can go up there and check out all his music. So with all of that said, does anybody have any closing comments for today?
I would say to everybody that's thinking about being in any form of entertainment, be yourself. Don't get caught up in what you think is tradition, because what worked for somebody before you, whether acting, modeling, whatever, rapping, whatever, might not be your lane. So it's best to, if you can, find your lane while you experimenting with putting yourself out there more and doing more things. Try to just always bring you to the table. Don't try to get too souped to where you think like I can't learn nothing from it. Try to take something from the experience and just keep it on the rise, keep it positive, and roll with your fam.
You're smart. I like you.
Right on.
I 100% co-sign on that statement. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and end the show, but I'm going to tell everyone to hit Laci Kay up on her email, which is
Booklacikay. Booklacikay@yahoo.
And you can also hit me up at Frankdo at businessbatterypack.com. So that's the end of today's show, and I thank the Archive/Kenny for coming on and talking to us, spreading some of his wisdom, and always the magnificent Laci Kay. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.